Eddie, Charlie Parsons, Boxing Social, we've seen this morning that Conor Benn has failed a test. I believe Calla said on TalkSport it was something to do with late August. Is there any truth in that?
You've seen all the statements. I mean, there's been a multitude of agencies used to test for this fight, which both guys have signed up to. Obviously, UKAD, the British Boxing Board of Control's testing agency, have also tested multiple times in the build-up to this fight. They've all been negative. There was an adverse finding in a VADA test that both teams were made aware of. The levels, the blood tests, everything were analysed by both teams, including, of course, Wasserman and Team Eubank. They were happy to proceed. Right now, you've seen a statement from the board to say we're not happy at the moment, and obviously there's a conversation going on with the legal teams around whether the fight will take place. Conor Benn is not suspended. There's been no doping violation. He's clear to fight by the British Boxing Board of Control, and we'll see what happens over the next few hours.
A lot of speculation now of people saying that similar to what they did in David Haye's previous fight, that maybe Luxembourg Border Control or a German Border Control needed to get this fight over line potentially. Is that something that you guys have spoken about?
Look, we could go and use another commission, no problem. We want the British Boxing Board of Control to be comfortable with the decision, but they need to also be responsive and say, you know, Conor Benn is not suspended. A very similar situation to Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know if you remember that situation where he had an adverse finding in his VADA test. The British Boxing Board of Control were made aware and they did not suspend Billy Joe Saunders because they do not acknowledge VADA testing. That is testing that we implemented with the fighters. So the board cannot and haven't suspended Conor Benn. In that instance, he's clear to fight on Saturday, but we need to talk with him and make him comfortable. Yes, we could use other commissions. It's not something we're looking to do. We want to move forward with the British Boxing Board of Control.
Where are we with the whole B sample? When will we get some clarity on that?
Not before the fight. But again, you know, with the British Boxing Board of Control, that's actually irrelevant in terms of their testing agencies. We've just been waiting for all the final test results to come back from UKAD, which are now back, that are negative, and that's the testing process they use. So we need clarity from the board. If you're not suspending him, if you're not allowing this fight to happen, he can fight someone else, but you won't allow this fight. So again, it's quite fresh at the moment, but that's where we are at the moment.
Where are you at with Conor yourself? You must be quite disappointed with Conor yourself.
Whoa. Let's go through a process first. You know, there was another fighter that was completely cleared that everybody hung out to dry. Okay, so, you know, ultimately there's been testing around many different tests that are all been negative, especially with UKAD. Again, I can't talk too much of it. When you see the levels and you see what Team Eubank have seen, you might have a different picture of this. So for Conor, obviously it's a tough situation for him to deal with. He'll have to go through a process, but right now he's clear to fight.
How long have you yourself known about it? Is this morning the same as with everyone else?
Both companies have known about this for a couple of weeks because they've had to have it all analysed. Team Wasserman and Eubank have gone through all the levels of the testing, all the previous tests to get themselves comfortable with the situation. Obviously it broke with the Daily Mail and the board have made the decision they're not comfortable right now, and hopefully that will change.
Two more from me. You've just spoke to Calla outside. Where are you with that? Yeah. Where are you with that? Like, where are Calla and that team, Eubank? Where their heads?
They want, you know, again, this is not something they found about this morning. We all found out about this at the same time. They've been through an extensive process with their client to get themselves comfortable with this. So, in their mind, the fight is happening 100%. You know, they've seen the information, they've digested it. Conor Benn has spoken to Chris Eubank as well, and they're ready to fight on Saturday. Obviously, we have to see what happens with the Board of Control and what route we take.
Eddie, top man, thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.